I've seen so many people literally walk through that door, literally absolutely, sorry, before they even walk through that door, absolutely bricking it, pacing up and down the
Yeah.
car park, probably going through 26. Um, and we will happily come over and have a coffee with you. Well, have a chat with you, encourage you in to get yourself a coffee. Or we've seen it where somebody's literally in the car park and they're literally stuck in their cars. They don't want to get out. We'll happily knock on their windows and encourage you out. That's what we do. That's how we try and get people walking through that door. The challenge that you have people with people discussing the problem is that stigma again. So the stigma between men's mental health is three different factors. You've got embarrassment, guilt, and burden. They're embarrassed that they're
Yeah.
feeling like that. They're guilty that they feel like they don't want to put people, or guilty that they're putting people through what they're going through. And then that burden as well, that they don't want to put it on people. They're scared of putting it on people. They just feel like they have to just crack on. And that's the challenge. And the younger generation is getting better because this is being taught in schools now. Back when I was in school, this conversation weren't even happening. Men's mental health weren't even a thing really when I was growing up in school.
My name is Navina Kapoor, and I work at Parkinson's UK as the Research Communications Lead. And Parkinson's UK is a charity that supports in a number of different ways. One of the things that we do is we fund research into Parkinson's, looking at finding kind of the background into Parkinson's and what causes it, but also looking at ways to find different treatments. And these can be drug treatments, or they can be other things such as exercise and devices that can help improve symptoms for Parkinson's. As well as funding research, Parkinson's UK supports people by fundraising to, provide our helpline. There's lots of research ongoing. Currently, we're funding nearly 50 research projects, and we're going to keep doing that in lots of different areas. Also, looking at physiotherapy and exercise, speech and language therapy as well. So research is always ongoing into finding not only ways to improve certain symptoms, but also to find a cure for Parkinson's.
My name is Debbie Waddell. I'm a respiratory specialist nurse and I work for Asthma and Lung UK, which is the UK's leading charity for lung conditions. A really great question and such an important question. It's really a partnership. So when you have a diagnosis of asthma, it's about working closely with your healthcare professional, and that could be your GP or your asthma nurse at the practice, or even your consultant if you're referred to the hospital. But a lot of the care involves shared discussion, shared decision making between the healthcare professional and the person with asthma, their carers, their family, in the case of younger people. But having a very clear written asthma action plan will help people to know what they need to do every single day to stay on top of their asthma symptoms.
My name is Luke. I'm one of the area leads for Andy's Man Club. Andy's Man Club is a suicide prevention charity which was set up in 2016 on the back of the death of Andy Roberts. Andy Roberts ended up taking his own life with no signs, no signals, no warnings. And from that, Luke Campbell and Elaine Roberts set up Andy's Man Club. It started with one club in 2016 in Halifax, and currently we've now got 190 plus clubs across the country, and we've done that in 8 years. That's pretty much the history of Andy's Man Club, really.
Can you just go through the support that's available and um, how do you deal with people who comes through your doors, Andy's Man Club?
Yeah, so Andy's Man Club is a peer-to-peer talking club. We have, like I said, 190 plus talking clubs across the UK, and they're set by doing 5 different questions. So we have 5 questions in a session. Question 1, question 2, question 3 are always the same. Question 4 and 5 are different each week. The first question is, how's your week been? Simple question to answer. Anybody can answer that, and I'm guessing you two and say that all the time. How's your week been? How's your weekend been? It's that open question. Question 2 is any positive of the week. Again, very simple question. I'm sure, again, you guys will probably be able to give me one positive of the week, like in the last 7 days. And then question 3 is anything to get off your chest. Now, some people think that's a hard question, but actually, question 3 is actually an easy question because you've already shared on question 1 and in question 2. You've already shared in front of a load of strangers. So actually, question 3 becomes easy to answer. And then question 4 and 5 are different each week. And they're set by us, by head office. And they're always positive, inspirational, thought-provoking, sometimes quite funny questions as well. So that's how we structure our club and how we run. But when we deal with people coming through the doors, the hardest part of an Andy's Man Club is actually walking through the door for the first time. So we've got facilitators who usually dress very similar to me with an Andy's Man Club jumper, Andy's Man Club t-shirt, um,
Yeah.
Andy's Man Club shirt. And these are the guys that'll help them get through that door. I've seen so many people literally walk through that door, literally absolutely, sorry, before they even walk through that door, absolutely bricking it. Absolutely bricking it, racing up and down the
Yeah.
car park, probably going through 26. Um, and we will happily come over and have a coffee with you. We'll have a chat with you, encourage you in to get yourself a coffee. Or we've seen it where somebody's literally in the car park and they're literally stuck in their cars. They don't want to get out. We'll happily knock on their windows and encourage you out. That's what we do. That's how we try and get people walking through that door.
So, what age do you have to be to join this Andy Man's Club, or can you be any age?
So the minimum age is 18, and the reason why is due to safeguarding reasons. So yeah, the minimum age is 18. But then we've had people that are in the 90s coming to an Andy's Man Club. So any age as long as you're over 18.
What advice do you provide for those people um, struggling with communication? They find it hard to break the communication barrier.
So what advice do we give? Well, personally, we don't really give advice. That's Andy's Man Club. We're a peer-to-peer talking group, so we're designed for people to turn up and just get stuff off their chest. And if somebody's gone through very similar things that they've gone through in the club, then we will happily like share experiences. Um, but like I said, the hardest part of an Andy's Man Club is getting through that door and talking. A lot of people, there's that stigma that's around that men don't talk, and we want to try and break that stigma. Everybody thinks that a man has to be like macho and grr, and we don't talk about feeling. We just get on with it and do things. That's not the case. We all have problems. We all have different issues, and we're all trying to deal with life and what life throws at us. So we're there to try and get people through that door and get that opportunity to talk. Give him a platform for them to talk. And honestly, I've seen guys that have literally walked through the door, literally at rock bottom, and then a few weeks later, they literally 180 of themselves because they just got that pressure off them by just talking. So that's what we try. We try and encourage them to talk. That's what we do.
Do you think that's a challenge for people to talk in an organisational setting, or do you think that's not the case then? Do you think they come across as being confident?
Um, the challenge of the challenge that you have people with people discussing the problem is that stigma again. So the stigma between men's mental health is three different factors. You've got embarrassment, guilt, and burden. They're embarrassed that they're
Yeah.
feeling like that. They're guilty that they feel like they don't want to put people or guilty that they're putting people through what they're going through. And then there's that burden as well that they don't want to put it on people. They're scared of putting it on people. They just feel like they have to just crack on. And that's the challenge. And the younger generation is getting better because this is being taught in schools now. Back when I was in school, this conversation weren't even happening. Men's mental health weren't even a thing really when I was growing up in school. It's only been going really and being talked about in the last 10 years, if you really think about it. So people of my generation, people older than me, that we have always been brought up to essentially put up, shut up, man up, get on with it type of culture. Younger generation, it's changing, which is really a positive thing. But we're trying to really get to the and like get people talking about the problems um in every age really. So that's what we're trying to do anyway.
My name is Julie Cameron and I'm the Associate Director within the Mental Health Foundation. So we are an organisation who is focused on the prevention of mental health problems, and that means that we try and work to ensure that people have the best conditions to enable them to thrive in their lives. So that involves working with policy, working in research, and also doing more programmatic work to ensure that we best understand the relationship between mental health and different things in people's lives. And also, as I say, so that we can really let people know what will help to improve their mental health or to prevent mental health problems starting in the first place.
My name is Heather Lewis. I work at the Mental Health Foundation. I manage various projects, particularly with children and young people, a lot of which are through sport. So working with sporting organisations to equip them and cheerlead and support them as they help to support people's mental health.
मेरा नाम है सैयद अजहर अली शाह बुखारी. I'm President Pakistan Cycling Federation and also President South Asian Cycling Federation. मैं पहले था अपने सूबे का जनरल सेक्रेटरी, फिर मैं सूबे का KPK का प्रेसिडेंट बना. उधर मैंने 10 साल प्रेसिडेंटशिप की और कुछ 10 साल मैंने जो है ना वो किया, जनरल सेक्रेटरी रहा हूँ. उसके बाद मैं फेडरेशन में था. फेडरेशन में एसोसिएट सेक्रेटरी, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, इस लेवल्स पर काम करता रहा. लेकिन 2011 में जब 12 में हमारे इलेक्शन हुए तो उसमें मुझे इलेक्ट किया गया एज ए जनरल सेक्रेटरी पाकिस्तान साइकिलिंग फेडरेशन. वहाँ पे मैंने फेडरेशन में 8 साल गुजारे, 2 टर्नओवर गुजारे. तो फिर हमें वो सीट छोड़नी पड़ी, तो उन्होंने मुझे प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट कर दिया तमाम कैबिनेट में.
You are watching Luke Tetlow-Cross, the area lead of the northwest of England for Andy's Man Club. If you are enjoying the content we are creating, then please do like the video, share it and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more content. In the meantime, let's get back to this one.
When people come to your peer-to-peer group, confidence is a huge factor. How do you push their confidence from zero to uplifting? And is it done online or is it done peer-to-peer, face-to-face?
So, as I mentioned before, we're a peer-to-peer talking group, and we've got 190 clubs. So, when it comes to the confidence, there are people that are literally, they won't speak for about 4 or 5 weeks. They'll be there, but they won't speak. They won't say a thing for about 4 or 5 weeks. But them questions that I've discussed before, they're designed. They actually are designed to open the conversation. Because again, how's your week been? I'm guessing you say that all the time. How's your week been? How's your weekend been? It's an open question. It's an easy question to answer. And then question 2, any positive of the week? Again, everybody can give us one positive. If it's just waking up in the morning and having that first cup of coffee, the sun's out, which is out ironically today. It could be the smallest thing, but it opens that conversation. It's an easy question to answer. And then when you get to the meat and bones of it, anything to get off your chest, because you've always answered them 2 questions, it's easier to answer that third one. So that's how we open people up to talk, because by giving them 2 easy questions, really, and then just making them feel comfortable of then sharing stuff, because them 2 questions were easy. That's how we do it. And when it comes to we have clubs, like I said, we have 197, I think 197 now, 198, over 190 clubs across the country, peer-to-peer clubs. We don't do like one-to-one. It's never one-to-one. It's always in a group setting. And they literally, from the top of Scotland to the bottom of like Bristol, Cornwall. We got Devon area, Wales. We're in Midlands, and we got up in Hull and Manchester. They're all over the place. And then we do have an online platform, so we don't have a club nearby. You can jump on our online. You just send an email to info@andysmanclub.co.uk, and we'll send you a link. You click on the link and you're on. It's again nice and simple. We want to be open to everybody. So whether it is in a face-to-face setting or an online setting, the sessions work exactly the same.
So where do these communication differences start then, do you think? So it doesn't escalate towards the worst case scenario, if you know what I mean.
So people come in for different things. A lot of people think that Andy's Man Club is a place where you're feeling suicidal or you have a major mental health issue. And that's not the case. You could be having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month. I've literally seen people walking in the door because they've just had that absolutely terrible day, that really, really bad day, where they've woken up and from the moment that they've woken up to the moment they've gone to bed, it's literally gone wrong. We've got people that are coming to a club where they're isolated, they're on their own, they've lost their significant other, and they're literally looking at four walls every day. They're isolated and alone, and they come to a club just basically to get out, and have that conversation. And we've got people that are going through financial issues, drug and alcohol issues, all sorts of different things. It doesn't have to be suicidal. That's the thing. So we support everybody. We're very non-judgmental. We're a non-judgmental club, and yeah, like I said, we like to support everybody.
Let's say, for example, I'm happy and chappy, and I decided not to come to the club. Do people have like that as well, or do you have to be lonely or low down and then come to the club?
No, you can come to a club. I've come to many clubs. I've gone to, well, I look after 23 clubs now, but I sometimes go to clubs where I don't have anything to get off my chest. I don't have to answer that question three. I just continue talking, and there's a social side of this as well. Because once you come to an Andy's Man Club, you essentially enter into like a bit of a brotherhood. You start making some friends, and you get building relationships with people, and you have a nice chat with them, and then sometimes it becomes a bit of a social thing as well. When we don't open on bank holidays, we go for walks and talks, and they have a bit of a chat, go for a coffee, and have a laugh. We tend to have a bit of a brotherhood and look after each other. So you don't. Sometimes if you're not feeling terrible, you can still come to an Andy's Man Club just to at least get free coffee and have a chat.
What are those words of advice for anyone supporting another person, and what advice would you give them if they're going through the situation?
I think words of advice for a person that needs to be supported is, first of all, don't give up on them. Don't give up on them. You I hear stories all the time when, well, they're not doing anything about it, and I don't know how more I can do. Well, just don't keep just they do it in their time, and just keep supporting them. Keep supporting them, keep looking after them, and making sure, and just keep encouraging them to go to. Don't have to be an Andy's Man Club. There's multiple peer-to-peer clubs across the country. Tell them get to a peer-to-peer club, or go to counselling, or there's a lot of different services out there that are out there to support. So just keep reaching out to them, keep making sure that they're all right, and yeah, just keep encouraging them to get that support. So that's what I would recommend on that.
Going forward in the future, what have you got coming up events, or like what's coming up?
Yeah, so we have got events coming up. We have got the Great North Run, which is over in September. We have got the Delamere Run, which is in July. We've got the Haldon Run, which is down near like Devonshire area. So we've got a lot of running events as well. If you check out our your local Andy's Man Club, they tend to do smaller different things like an awareness thing in Tesco or Asda, or they will do like walks and talks. So just check out your local ones as well. And just let them know about, well, just go to andysmanclub.co.uk to find out more information about the bigger national events that we do. And also, I just want to also make people aware, if you go to andysmanclub.co.uk, there's a little section on there what says find your nearest club. If you click on that and then type in your postcode, your nearest club will come up. Or if you don't have a club nearby, just go to go to info@andysmanclub.co.uk, send an email to us, and we'll let you know how to get onto the online platform as well. I've seen a guy literally who was a drug and alcohol counsellor. He was a drug and alcohol counsellor, and he was mainly for the youth. And what happened was, because he wasn't really engaging with these guys, he turned to drugs himself to kind of relate to them and get part of their culture and then befriend them so he can help them. So his thought process was right. It's just his actions were wrong. But he ended up becoming an addict himself and became really, really in a bad shape, to the point where he lost his job, he lost his house, he lost his family, all due to drugs. He was in a really, really low place. He walked into the Andy's Man Club for the first time, and he was just absolutely, you could see it in his face. He was defeated, completely defeated. He's lost weight, he's a bit gone. It was really bad. He came to an Andy's Man Club, he aired everything out. He went the week after, aired everything out. Week after that, aired everything out. And bit by bit, you could see it. And he was changing. And literally, from where he was to 6 weeks later, it was literally 180 with himself. He was fresh faced, he was happier, he's got things on track, he was finding different jobs, he was really, getting back to it. And literally, it's just that power of talking, that small thing of talking. I see another guy, there was a guy, and again, I won't mention names or locations, but essentially, he came to an Andy's Man Club one time. Literally, first time he'd ever turned up. Got to question 3, and he said this story. He said, I was actually at a bridge, and he was going to throw himself off. And what he did, he saw one of these banners, our Andy's Man Club banners on one of these bridges, and he picked up his phone. He typed in Andy's Man Club to find out what it was. He found that his nearest club was only about 3 miles away. He literally walked from that bridge to an Andy's Man Club. That guy is now one of our facilitators. He's now helping the next person walk through the door. That's the stories what we hear. We hear all sorts of different stories, but stuff like that are quite powerful. Literally, somebody at rock bottom, but by the power of talking, just airing stuff out of your chest. It's not hard. It's just getting it off your chest. That small action has saved somebody else's life. So that's, like I said, they're 2 different spectrums there. You've got somebody who's just really, really low and in a really, really terrible place, and then somebody who's doing something drastic, who's going to essentially end his own life. And both of them are now supporting the next guys. So that's why I know it works, and this is why I try and do what I do here now, and talk to you guys and do these talks and everything, just to try and get the word out, to get more men talking. You can go on go on our website, andysmanclub.co.uk. You can send an email to info@andysmanclub.co.uk. If you go on Facebook, type in Andy's Man Club, you'll see us. Instagram, again, type in Andy's Man Club, you'll see us. And TikTok, we're on TikTok. I hate TikTok, but I'm on it. But you can find us on there as well. AndysManclub.
My name is Julie Cameron, and I'm the Associate Director within the Mental Health Foundation. So we are an organisation who is focused on the prevention of mental health problems, and that means that we try and work to ensure that people have the best conditions to enable them to thrive in their lives. So that involves working with policy, working in research, and also doing more programmatic work to ensure that we best understand the relationship between mental health and different things in people's lives. And also, as I say, so that we can really let people know what will help to improve their mental health or to prevent mental health problems starting in the first place.
My name is Heather Lewis. I work at the Mental Health Foundation. I manage various projects, particularly with children and young people, a lot of which are through sport. So working with sporting organisations to equip them and cheerlead and support them as they help to support people's mental health.
मेरा नाम है सैयद अजहर अली शाह बुखारी. I'm President Pakistan Cycling Federation and also President South Asian Cycling Federation. मैं पहले था अपने सूबे का जनरल सेक्रेटरी, फिर मैं सूबे का KPK का प्रेसिडेंट बना. उधर मैंने 10 साल प्रेसिडेंटशिप की और कुछ 10 साल मैंने जो है ना वो किया जनरल सेक्रेटरी रहा हूँ. उसके बाद मैं फेडरेशन में था. फेडरेशन में एसोसिएट सेक्रेटरी, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट इस लेवल्स पर काम करता रहा. लेकिन 2011 में जब 12 में हमारे इलेक्शन हुए तो उसमें मुझे इलेक्ट किया गया एज ए जनरल सेक्रेटरी पाकिस्तान साइकिलिंग फेडरेशन. वहाँ पे मैंने फेडरेशन में 8 साल गुजारे, 2 टर्नओवर गुजारे. तो फिर हमें वो सीट छोड़नी पड़ी. तो उन्होंने मुझे प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट कर दिया तमाम कैबिनेट में.